How's it going, everyone? We are live back hours later. Thankfully, we didn't stay live all the way through with the information on the trade the Montreal Canadiens made with the Calgary Flames today, acquiring Sean Monahan from the Flames in exchange for a first-round pick in 2025. There are conditions on that first-round pick, so we'll begin breaking it all down. There were a lot of thoughts initially about are there going to be pieces going back the other way, another team involved. Initially, that was the thought because, as Eric Engels reported, there were some things holding up the trade and there were some moving pieces that had to get sorted out. But in the end, it is going to be just a first-round pick going to the Montreal Canadiens, a conditional first in 2025. Dexter, great to see that it finally showed. So the Canadiens recoup another draft pick, but not in the very highly anticipated 2023 class, unfortunately. You know, a first is a first. I don't think anyone's going to really sneeze at that too much. Kaylee, welcome aboard. Dexter, you were first, yes. I don't think anyone's going to really sneeze at a first-round pick, but it's not quite what people were thinking what the deal was going to be. The return is fantastic. It's not the return that's bad. It's just that people thought there was going to be maybe Mike Hoffman involved. Maybe there was going to be some sort of salary dump from both sides. But it's a first-round pick from the Flames. Scrolling through the Twitter world here, it's a 2025 first from Calgary in exchange for those future considerations. So the Canadiens give nothing back the other way. It's just a straight-up 2025 first. I'd be interested to know what those conditions are. The Canadiens are now $5.2 million over the salary cap now. There's a lot of conditions. Perfect. Actually, you could drop that in the Discord server, Hobbsy, and I'll just read them out. Or here they are. From Cap Friendly. All right, so let's break it down. What are the conditions of this trade? Oh my goodness. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Here are the conditions associated with the first round selection by Montreal. Let's zoom in. In the event, hold on, computer's struggling a little bit. Come on. Oh, it's not zooming in on the pictures, it's just zooming in on the tweet. All right. In the event Calgary's own 2024 first round choice is selection 20 to 32 following the determination of the 2024. Okay, why is this jumping around? Sorry, give me a second. This is annoying. There are a lot of conditions. Oh boy. Sorry for this lagging along. I've never seen conditions like this on a trade, by the way. Even Cap Friendly saying that it's a doozy. Okay, so in the event that Calgary's own 2024 first is between 20 to 32, the Canadiens have the option to exchange the 2025 first or the 2026 first for the 2024 first. So if Calgary is picking between 20 to 32 in 2024, the Canadiens are allowed to say, we want that pick. Okay. If Florida's 2025 first that the Flames have from the Panthers, if that transfers to Calgary pursuant to their conditions on the earlier trade, so in the event the conditions to trigger Montreal's option as noted in number 1 above does not occur, so if the Flames get Florida's first, everything I just said does not occur any longer, or Montreal declines to exercise this option, the following conditions shall prevail. If both of Calgary's 2025 firsts and Florida's, so both their own first and Florida's first are not in the top 10, Montreal gets the earlier of the two. So in theory, if Calgary's first in 2025 is 12th and Florida's first in 2025 is 16th, the Canadiens would get the 12th overall pick. But if Calgary has a pick between 20 and 32 and don't get Florida's pick, then the Canadiens could say we don't want that 2024 pick, excuse me. But if Calgary's own 2025 first is a top 10 selection and Florida's first is outside of the top 10, Montreal receives Florida's first. Okay, follow along here. Now, if Florida's first does not go to Calgary, in this event, the conditions to trigger Montreal's option as noted in number 1 above does not occur, or Montreal declines to exercise the option, the following conditions shall prevail. If Calgary's own 2025 first, if they don't get Florida's first, is not in the top 10, Montreal receives Calgary's 2025 first. So it could be anywhere between 11 and 32. If Florida's own 2025 first is not in the top 10 selections of 2025, and Florida's 2025 first has been transferred to another NHL team, and Florida's 2025 first is better than Calgary's 2025 first, then Calgary will transfer their own 2025 fourth to Montreal. Okay. If Calgary's own 2025 first is a top 10 selection, Montreal receives Calgary's 2025 first, subject to this condition, which is Calgary will retain its own first, and Montreal shall instead receive Calgary's 2025 third and a conditional 2026 first. Montreal shall receive the better of Calgary's 2026 first or Florida's 2026 first if Calgary hadn't gotten Florida's 2025 first previously. Wow. Oh boy. Hello again, Vinny. So there are the conditions. Basically, I think it boils down, if I understood this correctly enough, if it's not a top 10 pick, it's pretty much a 2025 first, and Montreal can choose to even if 2024 is between 20 and 32, the Canadiens can say we want the 2024 first, or we can gamble for 2025. If in 2025 it's not a top 10 pick, the Canadiens get it. If it is a top 10 pick, then there's conditions that go into Florida's pick. Did they get that pick? And so on and so forth. So that's how I think I understand it. Yeah. Can you repeat that? Yeah. Let me see what Montreal's press release is. The conditions that Monahan deal. Here it comes. Unroll it. Let me see what the Canadiens have to say. If I can find it, or I'll just look it up. Here we go. The Canadiens have acquired several conditions indicated in the link. I'm sure it's just the same actually, but I think I boiled it down. Engels, what you need to know: Habs getting a first round pick to take Monahan. That's it. Yeah, so at least it's a guaranteed first round pick. It's not one of those conditional firsts that turn into a second if something else happens. No, it's a guaranteed first. Just it could be anywhere. It could be Calgary's, or it could be Florida's, and it could be from anywhere from 2024 to 2026. But it's a first round pick to take on Sean Monahan. Montreal Canadiens GM says he doesn't see a path for Carey Price to return and play during. Oh my goodness, I was staring at this. I didn't even read it. Wow. Maintenant en français, that would be impossible. So it seems as though Carey Price is not returning in 2022-23. So that means, that allows the Canadiens to acquire Monahan, maybe LTIR him, I don't know what. But it's discouraging news on his knee. Don't expect him available at the start of next season. Possibly won't be available to return at all. That's brutal. I don't know if there's a path for him to return. So, that means Jake Allen is now the starter in Montreal, and Samuel Montembeault is pretty much the backup, or Caden Primo, or what. So Price is out for the season. Sean Monahan is here for a first. It's just, what is that first going to be? It could be Calgary's, it could be Florida's, and it could be anywhere from 2024 to 2026. At the moment, it's not showing up on Cap Friendly, but they do have Sean Monahan here on the injured reserve. Wow. Oh boy. So it's 6.126 over the salary cap. You LTIR Carey Price, that leaves you with like $4 million to play with. It's going to be an interesting year for the Canadiens, who are definitely going to be bottom feeders, who are, they're not really fighting for anything, understandably so. Mackenzie leaving a nice comment here. Congrats on 5K data. No one deserves more. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. It was a big day today. We had the breaking news in the Kadri trade signing, now the Monahan trade, the Cutter Gauthier career simulation, hitting 5,000 subscribers. We're going to do a live stream to celebrate tomorrow night. So it's been a whirlwind of a day. Thank you, everyone, for your support so far. But there's the information. Sean Monahan for a first-round pick with a lot of conditions, and Carey Price out for the season, most likely, at the very least, beginning 2022-23 on LTIR. Boy, thank you, Kaylee. Big news in the NHL. While that's all coming down, I'm just going to do what I usually do, which is change the title of the video as more information comes out. I'm not sure there's much room left in the title of this video. As you all should know, I'm a Sens fan and not the biggest Habs fan, but I hate this for Carey Price, says Hobbsy. Yeah, I think Carey Price is one of those it's hard to hate him kind of guys in the NHL. Like, he's been through a lot. He has his own story for sure. He's done his own fair share of things that he is trying to recover from, based with his personal life, his family life. But aside from that, he is a nice guy. He's done a lot for the charities. He has been a fighter with the Canadiens on a team that hasn't been great. And to hear that he's out for most of, if not all of 2022-23, yeah, it's sad for sure. I don't think it really changes much for the Canadiens. Actually, it's better like that. Why, like, let him sit the whole year and try to get healthy and come back for 2023-24 when the Canadiens will actually start, maybe not competing, but actually try not to be a bottom dweller, right? So Sean Monahan to the Canadiens, his 82-game average over the last 3 years, his 82-game career average minus the last 2 years where he's had the hip injuries and the surgeries, has been 62 game. My apologies. I'm trying to type and speak. 62 points per 82 games. Now, is Monahan still at that level with the left and right hip surgery and all that? I don't think so. Is he going to work well with Martin St. Louis' system and the young guys and all the energy? Yeah, I could see him having a decent season. I could see him putting up, 20, 30, 40 points. I don't think it'll be a 62-point season. I don't think it's going to be crazy. But hopefully he could do enough that can get the Canadiens some more assets later on. They get him a first-round pick right now, and maybe they pick up a third-round pick later by flipping him. Add in the assets that they'll receive if they can move on from Jake Allen, who's an expiring contract, Evgeny Dadonov, an expiring contract. Maybe they dump, I don't know if Paul Byron would be healthy, if any team would want to take him. But the Canadiens are in a good position in that regard, absolutely. Oh, boy. Going back to Twitter here after Chris Johnson dropped that bomb. Now, the question is his career over? I wonder. Is Carey Price's career over? I don't think I've heard enough to make me think that his career is over. I just really hope that it's going to be another year off, get healthy, and stay away from the team that's really bad. No need to hurt yourself here and try to come back for 2023-24, as he does have, let me see, how many more years on the deal? He has, after this season, so this season's a wash. 2022-23 is not happening. But he will have 3 more years after that, 2023-24, up until the end of 2026. So there's still some time for Carey Price. He has a no-move clause. I don't know if, anybody's going to want him at that point. Salary retention, blah, blah, blah. But it could be. There's a lot of different things we just don't know about. Unfortunately, what we do know is that he's likely out for the entirety of 2022-23. Jake Allen likely the starter. Montembeault getting some splitting starts with him. Hopefully Caden Primo can get some good chances. They can sign him. Now that the Habs are over the salary by 6.126. Now let's see. That's minus. So add 10.5 million. That leaves the Canadiens 4.37334 to play with. With that 4.37 million, is that enough to just get Kirby Dach signed on and Caden Primo signed on? Depends what kind of route you're going with Kirby Dach. If it's just a 1-2 year thing, keep him as an RFA, absolutely that's enough. I'm not sure what kind of path they're thinking of for him. Cole Caulfield will need a contract after this season. Jordan Harris will need a contract after this season. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing badly, Mark. I wouldn't mind doing badly at all. Just, it's a sad story. The Canadiens' defensive core is really hurting. You don't want to, it's like, you don't want to put these guys in over their head, but, are Justin Barron and Jordan Harris going to be full-time NHLers this next season? It's possible with this lineup. I want to see the depth chart with Sean Monahan. Let's say everyone's healthy minus Carey Price. First line, you're going Caulfield, Suzuki, Hoffman, just whatever. Drouin, Dvorak, Anderson, Dadonov, Monahan, Gallagher, Armia, Evans, Dach. It's a good lineup on paper, but look at these 3 injuries right there. Defense is where it struggles. Edmondson, Savard, Matheson, Weidman, Harris, and Barron. Then Allen, who's also injured himself, backed up by Montembeault. It's not the worst team on paper, but everyone, with all the injuries and the defensive core hurting and not a lot to fight for, and suspects, maybe not suspect, but just meh goaltending. Hard to say what's going to happen for the Canadiens moving forward. But what we do know is that the Canadiens get a first-round pick, and that's what we can be happy about, ladies and gentlemen. There can be a silver lining here to Carey Price's announcement that he's done for the season, or Kent Hughes' announcement that Carey Price is done for the season. The silver lining is, even though it's in 2024, 26, or 5 or 26, and not in 2023, the Montreal Canadiens receive a first-round pick for taking on Sean Monahan. And who knows, in 2-3 years, when we see who the Canadiens draft, is it a steal at 22? Is it taking advantage advantage of all of those conditions that we just saw, and the Canadiens actually get to pick top 15. No, Doc doesn't play fourth line. A guy like, let me see here. A guy like Gallagher's not going fourth line. Maybe Monahan drops, and Evans. Maybe Doc can go third line center. Monahan drops. That's if everybody's healthy. No, not everybody's going to be healthy here. But there's no way Doc's playing fourth line all season. That's for sure. He needs to be given more opportunities than he had in Chicago. Yeah, Slavkovsky and Bedard, that would be amazing. The conditions, the first round pick, are quite lengthy. I'll close out the video by looking at these conditions one last time. Going to, it was Cap Friendly who had it, eh? Let me go back to Cap Friendly. It's quite the image here. Basically, the Canadiens are getting a guaranteed first round pick, but just we don't know if it's going to be in 2024, 25, or 26 because of all these conditions. Read them and weep. There you go, Dominic. Here you are. Lots of conditions. Because what's coming into play is Calgary's first round pick Florida's first round pick that Calgary received in the Matthew Tkachuk trade. That's what's coming into play right now and causing confusion. Yeah, I'm just trying to read over this myself. Yeah, all we need to know is that it's a guaranteed first round pick, but sad that it comes with Carey Price going on LTIR for what will likely be the entirety of the season. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end, I guess, of the 2 live streams. This is kind of like part 2 of the live stream, the almost 2-hour live stream we did earlier today. With Nazem Kadri signing in Calgary, and then the Flames moving Sean Monahan for a first. The Flames still have their first in 2023 and 2024 at the moment. No problem, Dominic. So they're not in the worst draft position. Plus, they have good prospects. The Canadiens now have another first in their system. I think that's the first pick they get from a different team headed into 2025 because they have picks from other teams in 2023 and 24. Yeah, that's the first pick they'll receive for 2025. That is not one of their own 7 picks. 2 firsts in 2023, their own first in 2024, and 2 firsts in 2025, unless that first becomes a 2024 or a 2026 first. But all of that will come with time. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you for joining along for the breaking news here in the NHL. For more breaking news and analysis or even breakdowns of the real world of hockey, be sure that you're subscribed to the channel, as well as following along with our NHL 22 franchise mode series, our NHL 22 career mode series. Back at it again, my friend, back at it again. We have Philadelphia Flyers franchise mode. We just put up the Cutter Gauthier career simulation. Shane Wright, Yuri Slavkovsky, Simon Nemec, Matthew Savoie, Logan Cooley. All those career sims have been done. Looking forward to many, many more. And of course, we just passed 5,000 subscribers here on the channel. And we will be having our live stream tomorrow night here on YouTube at 7 or 7:30 p.m. Eastern to celebrate those 5,000 subscribers. Much more to be discussed in the coming hours and days about Carey Price's announcement. Once again, Kent Hughes' announcement about Carey Price. Will Sean Monahan play? Yes, they get Monahan in a first-round pick, Dominic. Will Monahan play? But regardless if he does or not, or if he doesn't even play well, the Canadiens get a first-round pick in today's trade. And the Flames also sign Nazem Kadri for a 7-year deal at $7 million per. So thank everyone for taking the time to join in tonight. Have yourselves a great rest of your evening. Fun little bit of hockey news here on our random Thursday in August. So I hope we're all excited for the 2022-23 season. It's going to be a doozy with a lot of players having moved around this off season. Very sad that it won't include Carey Price for now, but we're wishing him all the best moving forward. And he still has 3 more years after this one, so hopefully he can get healthy. All right, everybody. Take care. We'll talk soon. Good night.